Hey there, Sart here. We've got another clash of wills, this time against the Salamander of Doom, apparently. Cute little guy. He's not too harsh. Fairly easy clear here. I'm using my, as usual, I like to clear up to level 99 with a sort of a budget team, but with my strong Esther, just to get started off with and show you guys how I got this one done, clearing up to level 99. I'll do more clears, like a budget clear at level 99 with my EX0 Esther, and then, you know, I'm sure I'll be able to get rank 1 on this one at some point, and I'll post that video later on. That'll probably be later on in the week. All right, so let's go ahead. This is just a level 99 clear, just to show you guys how I got it done. Here's the team. Trying to take kind of a budget team in here. Didn't want to do anything too crazy. I am taking my big girl Esther. You know, if you don't have as strong of an Esther, maybe you want to add an extra DPS unit to this fight in place of like Elena or something. Like if you got a Chizuru, or if you got the new Beach Babe Olive, you know, swap her, throw her in there in place of Elena there to get, you know, a bit more oomph, a bit more damage. But you know, I've been able to comfortably clear this in 4 turns with this team using the strategy that I'm going to show you. So let's start with Cacteria. Always a great unit to bring. She doesn't need any specific gear. Honestly, she can be pretty much naked. She's just here for breaks and to get rid of Mirage stacks. That's all she's doing. So no specific gear. Esther, here we go. You know, I gave her good gear, but not all of my best gear, just to sort of, you know, I didn't want to go all out in case you don't have necessarily all the best gear or all the best killers. For example, you know, I'm not using the best killer materia for this fight. The best killer materia for this fight is actually going to be Ruler of Sea and Sky Plus, but that's a limited killer. You may not have it. If you're lucky, you've got 2 of them, but I'm not going to use it for this particular fight just because it's not something that everybody has. But if you have it, definitely use it because it does 75% to both bird and aquatic. So yeah, I think her killers, she's almost capped on bird, but not quite on aquatic. That's all right. We'll still get the job done. So obviously there's some room for improvement there in your Esther when you go in to try and clear this. In her Brave Shift form, she does need to have some bulk because she will be doing all the tanking. She'll be tanking all the damage on this fight. You see I gave her the Anti-Malice amulet. That is there because it has this neat little 10% aquatic damage reduction, which is kind of nice. So I just threw it on there. I thought it would be neat. You probably saw my earlier video where we cleared out the Creeping Malice in 2 turns, easy peasy. So it's very easy to acquire. It's probably not necessary, but you know, it's nice to have it there for that extra damage reduction. Sylvie is of course always going to be traveling with Esther whenever she can. She's great for all kinds of content. She doesn't need any specific build. She can be naked, except for her TMR or STMR here. Doesn't need anything specific. You see, I've got slots missing because I didn't change her from a previous build. Same goes with Bulwark. He's just here for his bird killer buff, as well as for his mitigations for Esther on the first couple turns. That's it. That's all he's doing here. So nothing special. Elena, she also doesn't need anything. She's literally just a chain slave on this one. If you have a stronger DPS unit that can chain with Esther on her LB, definitely slot them in here. Like I said, Chizuru is a great replacement. The new Olive is really great. Wilk, if you have Wilk, of course, is really nice. You know, anyone that's got a strong LB to chain with Esther. If you've got Kaito, you know, even Kaito works here. You know, if you've got Roberta's great because she can bring Aquan killers, and you can actually chain Esther's LB with a quad cast of Mystic Breath. So that's actually a really useful thing there as well. She doesn't need anything in her Brave Shift. I'll just use her Brave Shift to do some morale fill on the first turn. Other than that, she can be naked. Fina and Lid is my budget option for Aquan Killer here. She has a 75% Aquan Killer in her kit. There it is, Aqua Hunter. And so that's going to be my only Aqua Hunter or Aquatic Killer buff that I'm going to be using. Gave her Nyx's dagger so that you're hitting the boss with one of its weak elements on the first turn. All right, so let's get in here and see how we get it done. Let's hope let's hope this goes well. You know, most of my test runs went well, unless I like roll super low on damage variance. Because ideally you want to push the 50% threshold on turn 3 and then finish it off on turn 4. If variance is super low, then there's a chance I might not push the threshold, and then I'll just quit and try again. But that's where, you know, adding a stronger DPS into Elena's slot would come in handy. All right, so turn 1, all Cacteria is going to do here is do some breaks. I'm going to go ahead and set up that higher defense break. And Thorny Teamwork is great because this boss likes to do lots of water and earth elemental magic attacks, and what do you know? Cacteria can buff water and earth by 150%, so yeah, that takes care of that. The boss doesn't do any kind of imperils as far as I can tell, so that'll keep Esther alive. No problem. Alright, Bulwark's going to do Moogly Mixtape to unlock his triple cast, and then Jaunty Jubilee on Esther to keep her alive. All right, Esther's going to go ahead and do True Stormbrand for the Lightning Imbue. And then, the Imperil's more important than the Imbue. And then Electromagnetic Shield for the Omni cover. And Storm Guardian for just the higher General Mitt on her. Sylvie will go ahead and do Paladin's Defense, Paladin's Resolve, and then Burgeoning Defense. This is all mostly for morale fill. Esther already has the 90% General Mitt on her for the next 2 turns, so she doesn't really need Burgeoning Defense, but it does come with some morale fill every turn, which is very useful. Alright, Legendary Heroine, alright, yeah, just morale fill here. And then Aqua Hunter and double Deep Sea Swimming. That does damage to get rid of the Mirage stacks. So there's our Aquan buff and a couple of hits to help get rid of the Mirage stacks. So we'll see Esther's going to tank all the damage on this one. You know, pretty harmless. It's not going to do very much damage at all. All the magic damage is resisted, as you can see here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and there's no imperils, so like, yeah, I mean, honestly, totally, even if you just geared Esther for 100% resist, she'd be fine. Or if you geared her for 0% resists, Cacteria takes care of all that, no problem. Alright, so we're going to do Million Needle Assault. That's for the higher attack mag breaks. That does a 90% attack and magic break. And then Gigant Fist to get rid of the Mirage stacks here. Esther's going to shift to normal. She's going to give Bulwark Quantum Storm so he can chain with her LB. Bulwark, speaking of, is going to shift, do a bit of morale fill with Chirrup and Moogly Mixtape, and then just do the Bird Killer buff. That's Pomelo's Prelude for the Bird Killer. Elena will shift to normal. We're going to triple cast Wave the Aurora, Piercing Prism, Crystal Refraction. Alright, and then we'll just go ahead and do, Aqua Hunter again, just to make sure we've got that always up and running. We've got... Alright, Sylvie here is just going to do... we're going to start ramping up that Lightning Amp here, and then we'll do some Morale Fill. The Morale Fill is more just to make sure that the boss doesn't get any increased stats or anything like that, you know, due to the boss's morale being high. Alright, so... Alright, a little bit of damage there. I mean, that's just some chip damage. It's not much at all. Alright. Alright, so the boss just put up more Mirage stacks there. Okay. So now Cacteria is just going to be removing those Mirage stacks. Summer Feeding and Lid's going to do the same thing. Again, Aqua Hunter and Double Deep Sea Swimming. Alright, and that's your 5 hits to get rid of the Mirage stacks there. Sylvie can do her LB to buff Esther's LB. Chain Lightning, LB, LB. Alright. And this should comfortably push us past the 50% threshold. Like I said, there's a chance that you just roll low on variance, because really you're relying solely on Esther to carry this fight in this strategy. And so if she rolls low, then, you know, you're kind of effed. But as long as you roll average or higher, you should be fine. Oh yeah, we're definitely going way past, yeah. And that's been my average. There was one test run I did where I wound up at 51% because I rolled super low. And I think that's the worst you'll ever do. And of course, if you don't push the threshold, then you're kind of screwed. Because, like, you know, all the buffs have worn off, or all the mitigations have worn off, basically, and then, you know, Raxalotl goes crazy and slaughters your team. So yeah, if you don't push the threshold, then you might wipe. I'll just go ahead and say that. So yeah, here we go. We're just gonna, yeah. Let's see. So the nice thing is we actually have the highest lightning amp now, and so this should be. What else? I actually don't need to do anything else, do I? Nah, I don't really need to do anything else. Yeah. Now we're good. So I'll just do. I'll actually just do double. I'll just do a double cast, because you don't need to do anything else here. You just need to fill up Esther's LB, and then we'll go ahead and do an attack buff. Alright, Elena, alright, so she should have Claw, or that Eye of the Dragon materia on her. That way she doesn't need her LB on this turn. Alright, again, we need Cacteria and Lid to go ahead and get rid of the Mirage stacks. Alright, so that's 5 hits, it's 5 stacks. So that takes care of business. So now we're going to start doing some damage. Hopefully this finishes out the fight. Like I said, if you roll super low, there's always a chance, but I think we're going to get this done no problem. Yep. Boom. All right. There you go. There's your 4-turn clear. Like I said, there's lots of room for improvement on this team, both in the gear, the units that you could swap in to do extra damage. But yeah, I mean, it's a fairly cheap team you can bring in. Just using Esther to literally, you know, slam it through. You see Esther's just carrying this fight. So if you're not getting the damage out of your Esther that I am, swap Elena out, throw somebody that can do more damage into that slot. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll do some more. I'll definitely do some more clears of this one. I'll do a sort of a super budget clear with my EX0 Esther. As soon as I get rank 1, I'll post that video. That'll be, you know, later on in the week. If I can do a couple of different rank 1 teams, I'll do it, but usually I just kind of do my one team and post it unless somebody requests something different. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned, because yeah, more is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.